Right. So let's take the note. Yes. So let me recap the things. So last time at the very end of the session, we talked about how to insert in a table to the web page, right? So like I told you, the table inside a web page is going to create row after row, right? So we need to create rows, and inside that we have to create table data or table headers to create the columns inside the table. So as I remember, I have illustrated to you through the whiteboard as well. So let me take the same whiteboard. Yeah, not this one. Ah, yeah, it was this. Right. So yes. So as we discuss, so it's going to be row after row, right? So each and every row is going to contain as a header or as a data, right? So to create the table, we need the table tag. To create the rows, we need the tr, the table row. And to create the data, we basically use the td tags, which has an end tag as well. And if we need a th, a table header, and we are going to work with the th tag. So as like this. So when we are like using the th tag, we can see the content in a bold face and set into the centered align, right? So that is a basic structure. So let's code this and see how the things are going to happen, right? Excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to take the very same source code, so it will be much easier for me. Okay, right. All right, okay. Yes, and people, can you confirm me whether I have gone with this type of thing? Excuse me. I think I have shown you the table structure as well. Geetaka? Ah, right, okay. Right, Lalini. Right, okay. Okay, so we have done the practical regarding the table, like just the the basic structure, right? Right, okay. Thank you, Geetaka. And to take your attention, or like to take the to recap the things, let me take these two things into the screen. Just wait. So yes, so this is the way it happens. So like the places where we have uses the th, we got it bold faces and center aligned, and the places where we have used tds, it is not bold faces, and it is left aligned now. We can't see this as a left aligned one. If I made vegetables, this particular heading as a TD, you can see it's going to be a left aligned one. Yeah, so like this. So we can use the TDs and TH wherever the place we want. And we discuss about the caption. So like caption, as I told you, it's better you put right after the table tag. It is the way that that your syllabus is guided, given the guidance to you guys. It's true, it can be used in anywhere inside the table tag, but it's better you use it just after the table tag, right? So and the border, like the by default border is going to have the value 0. That means when your table is generating, you won't be able to see any border, right? So if you need to see the border, you have to use a number which is not a 0. So like if we make this 2, let's see what's going to happen. See, the outer border is going to be thicker, not the insides, right? So if I make this 12, see, it's only the outer border which is getting formatted, not the inside border. So if you need to change the inside borders, there are properties, like there are ways of doing it, but not in our syllabus. Like we need to use something called CSS, Cascading Style Sheets, to make these things much better way of the appearance will be much better when we use CSS. Right. So this is the basic stuff regarding the table, and thereafter you have things. Hold on, someone is. Right. So hereafter you have things to like work with the attributes which were shown in here, right? So like align, width, height, bg color, border color, cell padding, and cell spacing things, right? Okay, let's go through that stuff. So I'm going to apply these stuff to this very same table, and let's see how those things happens. So like for align, excuse me. So for align, it will say what kind of alignment that you can give to your table. So it is left, center, right values can be used with the align. And when it comes to the width and height, now as you can see, the width and height of the table is prepared here due to its content, right? But we can change the width and height, right, by giving some values or given some pixel values or percentage values with the width and height attributes. And BG color is stating the background color, so the background color of the table. And border, as we use, 1 is to visible those things, and 0 is to not set it as a visible. So 0 is the default value. And the border color will shows the color of the border, right? And the background is going to give you the ability to add a picture to the background of your table. And the cell padding is the gap between cell and the border and its content, right? And cell spacing is the gap between the cells. So like if you need to like make distance from one cell to another cell, we need to use the cell spacing. if we are like having the if you need to have more space inside a cell, we are going to use cell padding. So cell padding කියන එක cell එක ලොකු කරනවා, cell spacing කියන එක cell එකෙන් cell එක add කරනවා, right? So we are going to use these things. Let's see how it happens, right? And I'm going to copy this particular thing so I can paste it in my code very easily, right? Let's see. So I'm pasting it in here, and it is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to make it shorter for you. Yes. So what I have used is my table has a border of 1 and width of 400, height of 150, right? So for the moment, I'm going to comment this. Commenting means it won't work, right? And I'm going to work only with the height and the width, right? So this particular code, this particular 2 lines will not get work because I have commented. Comments කියන ඒවා පාවිච්චි කරනවා code එකක execute කරන්න ඕන නැති ටික mark කරගන්න, and when we need to say something about the code, or like if you need to describe it about the code, we use comments. So comments will not be appear as a part of the program or part of the code. It will just helping the programmer or the builder to make things easier for himself, right? Him or herself, right? So remember this particular cell padding thing. These 2 lines will not affected. Only this will get affected, right? Okay, so I'm saving it and I'm refreshing this. Yes, see, so the width and height is affected, and you can see since the height is 150, it's already taken the space inside a cell, right? So if I make this, if I make height disappear, right, just the width, and I'm saving this and refreshing it. See, so the height is not defined, so width is taken as we said, right? So the very same thing can happen for the height as well, right? So I'm taking out the width and I'm saving and refreshing. See, so the width does not get affected, only the height, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a percentage here. So I'm going to say 100% as the width and 100% as the height. So let's see what happens. Okay, so now you can see the table is fully over the body, right? Entirely covered by the body. So 100% means the entire body, right? So entire web page will get filled with the table. So if we reduce that, like for 50% of width and 50% of height, so it's going to be half from the width and half from the height of the web page. So if I expand this or like maximize this, still it maintains things, right? එතකොට අපි percentage එක දීලා වැඩ කරනකොට අපේ browser එක ලොකු පොඩි වෙනකොට it's going to change its dimension because they have instructed take 50% from the width and take 50% of the height of the browser, right? So like tables are one of the techniques that we use to divide our web page, right? So we simply create a table and we disappear the borders, right? So we can make 4 different contents. If we make this particular table to divide our page, we can create 4 different contents and appear it, or like the appearance of the web page can be managed in an attractive way when we are having a table. And there are many more ways of dividing a web page. Table is one of the things, right? And again, normally we use the table tag to appear a table on your web page. Right, people, is it clear? Just give me a confirmation. Right, good, great. Okay, Himandi, how was it? Right. Okay, so moving forward, I'm going to enable the other things as well. So I'm taking cell padding inside our tag list. Hold on. Yeah, I have given cell padding equals 5, right? To do this, I'm going to get rid of width and the height, because it will like cover up the things. So like ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ උස පළල වෙනස් වෙන නිසා cell padding කියන එක අපිට එච්චරම බලා ගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So I'm going to get rid of those 2. And I'm saving this. Excuse me. Yeah, so this is the way with the cell padding. Now, if I make this 0, you can see the contents are very much tied to the cell. And if I make this 5 as the previous, so you can see, yeah, the content is little bit, the contents are given the room inside the cell a little bit. So when I'm increasing this, so let's say if I say 50, so I'm saving it, I'm refreshing it. See, you can see it's something like we are changing the height and width of the table, but here it's not the height and width, it's the cell padding, which make the table of the web page having more room inside the cell, right? So cell padding is give you the ability to have more space or more room inside a particular cell, right? And if I take cell spacing into this, so I'm saying cell spacing is 5, so I'm saving it and refreshing it. Yeah, you can see the cells are like a little bit distant from each other than the previous manner. So if I increase this, let's say I'm going to say 25 as cell spacing, so I'm saving it. Yeah, so you can make your table like this. So cell spacing will distance the cells from each other, right? So it's going to be the very same way, like from every margin, like from top, bottom, right and left, it's going to have the very same cell spacing between each other, right? So border color, I'm going to take the border color green. So I'm saving it. Doesn't it got apply? Yeah, border color is applied, but you can't see it. I'll make the border size as 10 so you can see it. Yeah, so likewise. Right, so even the inner borders are changed, but it is, you can see that I'll make it like border color as red, so I think it's easier for you to see. Yeah, so as you can see, inner borders and outer borders both are changed. Right, and finally, the BG color. BG color means the background color. Right, so saving it and I'm refreshing it. So yes, so the background color got changed to the yellow once we use the BG color. Right, so apart from these things, what was in your book is the background. We go through the cell padding and cell spacing. So I'm going to take the background as well, right? And let's try to give some image inside our table, right? So I'm going to use background right over here. So an equals, it says to use to include, yeah, this particular thing. So as I remember, we have to use it using the URL. No, we don't need to. Background equals image.png. So that will be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a image name into this particular place, and to do that, just to give the image name, I need my image and my web page right on the same folder level. එකම තැන තියෙන්න ඕනේ, right? If you are having images in a different place, so you need to say, yeah, just a second, people. Hello. Hello. Oh, Kevin, good morning. Oh, ini kira gimana? Kemudian sih kemana? Coba dan itu yang upload dan memantau dan saya perlu terkotak upload dan hak dari waktu itu cuma ada di kelas juga di semua kelas itu yang memantau dan saya perlu upload ke kemarin tiga kali ini. No problem, no problem, no problem. Right, okay. Okay, let me take some picture here. Yes, so I'm going to take this tiger JPG. So here I'm saying right, so I'm saving it. I'm going to refresh it. Oh yes, so you can see a part of my picture, right? Not the entire picture. The reason is my picture is a very big one, so you can see just one part of it, and we can't like manipulate the which part is going to show on my picture. So we have to make my picture according to this particular size, right? If I maximize it, no, I don't think you won't be able to see that as well. So yeah, so when you're having the pictures inside here, so it's going to be in this manner. Like if your picture is very big, it's going to show you the very first part of the picture. Let's try with that cat JPG. Yes, so things will be like that. So I'll show you the original picture. So it is something like this, right? So in my web page, it's going to appear like this, right? So this particular part has been taken from that picture. So if you really need to have a one specific part, you have to edit the picture and take it to here, right? අපිට හරියටම පූසගේ මූණ අරගන්න ඕන නම් මෙතනට, so you should edit your image to have just the face of the cat. So then your table will be taken that particular part, right? Okay, so yeah, people confirm me whether it is okay with you, or is it clear? Do I need to have anything to clarify those things again? Right, good. Right, so moving forward, so those are the attributes that we need to talk about regarding the table. And later we have to discuss as the next topic how to merge the cells inside a table, right? So to merge the cells, we use two particular attributes, which is called the col span and the row span, right? So remember col span, you can remember it by name. Col span, when you use col span, the cells inside the columns, right? So more than one column, cells inside the columns will get spanned or will get merged. When you use the row span, the cells which is inside the rows will get spanned or will get merged, right? If I illustrate it to you using a diagram, so like just a second. So if this is your table, and col span will do merge of these type of things. So like there are columns, there are 3 columns, those columns will get merged, right? So merging means you can see just one particular cell once after you merged it. So this is what you call the col span. And row span will merge the rows inside the cells which inside the different rows, right? And remember, you can do the col span and row span to your right side. You can do the col span to your right side. You can do the row span to the bottomwards, or like the downwards, right? So you can start it from one particular place, and you can row span to the downwards. You can start from one particular cell and you can do the col span to its right side, right? You can't do like any direction that you need. You need to remember col span will happens to the left side and row span will happen to the downwards, right? So once you row span this, these two cells, these cells will be shown as one particular cell, and then once you col span, these 3 cells will be shown as one particular cell, right? So that is what you call the col span and the row span effect, right? And in your textbook they have shown you here the land use is being col spanned. මෙතන columns දෙකක් තියෙනවා. මේ land use කියන එක it spread over those two columns. So we call it a col span, right? I'll show you how to use that, right? And in the row span, this 353,000, the figure is a span over these two rows. So this is called the row span, right? Okay, so let's see how we are going to do that, right? Yeah, I'm using the very same code, and I'm going to get rid of this cell padding, cell spacing things, because that will be much better. And I'm going to add some more rows to this table. So let me add it quickly. And yeah, I'm going to add another column as well. So I'm going to say what vehicles. Oh, sorry. Right. So my table is having 3 table rows. That means you can see 3 rows, and each row contains 3 data. So you can see 3 columns as well, right? So here I am refreshing this. I'll save this, and here I'm refreshing it. So my table is like this. So why my border is like this? Because it is given something like this. So I'm making it 1, and need to close that. Yeah. Yes, Himandi, it is something given with the Windows 10 door, the whiteboard. It is a Microsoft product. You can download it from the Microsoft Store. So you can draw it, and again, I think mouse එකෙන් අඳින්නත් පුළුවන්, but it's better you use a like a pen kind of things. දැන් මගේ screen එක touch sensitive නිසා මට pen එකක් තියෙනවා, so I can draw it with the pen. ඒකෙන් අඳිනකොට ටිකක් lazy, but when you use a mouse, it will be a little bit difficult for you to draw. Or else you can there are many types of things like whiteboard. You can take it to your phone or your tab, and you can draw it using a pen on that. But ඔයාගේ screen එක පොඩි වෙනවා tab එකකට phone එකකට ගන්නකොට. But here in my computer I have a touch sensitive screen, so I can draw things on my screen as the way I need. So I'm doing it using a touch pen, so like the touch sensitive pen, right? Okay, right. So yeah, let me refresh this. Yes, so it's like this. So now what I'm going to do is I need to merge these two columns, which is the vegetable. I need to have this vegetable word all over these two cells. Vehicles කියන එක නැති වෙලා I need it to merge from the second and in the second and the third cells of the first row. So what I'm going to do is, so my merging start from the cell which has the vegetables word. So I'm going to the TD where the vegetable word is there and have a space, and I'm going to say call span word. This is the attribute name. I'm going to say equal, and I'm going to give a value, and this value indicates how many cells are going to merge according to the call span. So I'm going to start my call span from the vegetable cell, and I have said span two cells with the call span. That means two cells means it will include the existing cell as well as the next cells. So these two cells will get merged, right? So let's save this and refresh it. Yes. So what has happened? So you can see vegetable has been merged. Beans and pumpkin උඩින් තියෙන vegetables, bus van එක උඩින් තියෙන vegetables. Now since I have used another TD as vehicles, so it is taken as the next cell. So like in my first table row, actually there are 4 cells. So like there is a cell for fruit, and there are 2 cells for vegetables, and there is a 1 cell for vehicle. Then ඔහොම වුණාම ඔයගලගේ table structure එක අවුල් වෙනවනේ. So you have to have that in mind when you are using a call span and a row span. There will be particular cells which are being merged. So to format your table, you have to have that idea accordingly. මේගොල්ලෝ merge වුණා නම් මෙන්න මේක නා නැති වෙන්න ඕනේ. නැත්නම් ඔයගලගේ table structure එක අවුල් වෙනවා. දැන් මගේ වෙච්ච අවුල තමයි I have kept this vehicle table data. So ඒක එළියට පැනලා වගේ පේනවා. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that, right? So මේ විදිහට save කරාම it's going to be in a form of the table, right? So now you can see the call span has happened. So it's starting from the second cell and spreading over the next cell. So others are on the very same level as it has 3 TDs in the other table, in the other rows, right? Okay, so that is what you call the call span effect. So if you need to have this fruit word all over these 3 cells, then what you are going to do? You are going to have this call span right over here, and you are going to spread it over 3 cells. So you have to change this as 3, and you have to get rid of these vegetables. Otherwise your table structure will jeopardize, right? And you save that. Then you refresh it. You can see fruit is all over 3 cells of the first row. Right. Okay, people, did you get that? Right. Okay. And the call span is going to happen in the very same way, right? To do that, I'm going to use this pineapple, or no, the beans and pumpkin word is going to spread over these 2 cells, right? So where's my beans and pumpkins? It's here. So like since I need to merge these 2 cells, I told you before, the merging of the rows or the row span happens towards the downwards, right? පහළට තමයි row span එක වෙන්නේ. So එහෙනම් if I need to merge these 2 things, I have to start it from the beans and pumpkin cell. Then I have to say, okay, you take the carrot cell as well, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the beans and pumpkin place, which is here. So I'm going to use the row span. Right, I have said this is ROW. I have 2. So then I'm saving this and I'm refreshing it, right? So what has happened? Beans and pumpkin is taken, right? Two cells are being merged, and I have carrot and van in here, right? Why is that? Because beans and pumpkin since they have taken this thing, so in your next row, you can see there is a one with the apple, so that apple is here, and the carrot is there. So this particular TD is not going to be the second TD of yours. Why? Because from this, the second TD of this TR is taken. Did you got that point? A point එක තේරුණාද? So this row span is starting from here and spread over this cell. So this carrot does not have the second TD. It's going to act as the third TD. That's why this is being shifted. The last line එකේ TDs හතරක් එනවා. Merge වෙච්ච එක්කෙනයි merge නොවෙච්ච තුන් දෙනයි. Right? Because this TR contains 3 TDs. Right? So the previous one has spanned one of those. One of those means one of 4, not these 3. ඒක තේරුණාද? ගීතක ලලින්දි? Okay. Geetaka, how about you? Yeah. Geetaka, it's like this. So like when we use this row span, it will start from the second row, right? Second row එකේ second cell එකේ තමයි beans and pumpkins තිබුණේ. So I have said row span 2. So that means beans and pumpkin is going to take the second cell of the second row and the second cell of the third row. මොකද එයා පහළටනේ merge වෙන්නේ, right? So those two cells are already taken. So in the third row, what we are saying is one input the apple as the table header, and there are 2 more things to be inserted. And so in the last row, there are 3 table data already, which we are saying to insert. But from this row span, it has already taken another cell of the last row. Right? So that means table row, the last table row is actually having 4 TDs. One is taken by this row span. So that is why we are having apple and this particular cell which is being merged, and carrot and van. Did you got that, Geetaka? Right, great. Then අපිට table structure එක හදාගන්න ඕනේ නම් හරි විදිහට what we are going to do is we need to get rid of one of these TDs in the last row. නේද? නැත්නම් එළියට පැනලා වගේ පේනවා. So I can get rid of this particular one. So I'm saving it and I'm refreshing it. So it's going to give you the table structure, right, as a table. Right, got it? Right, okay. Good. Okay, so let's move to the example that they have given to us. Not the example, this particular activity. So now what you can see, so there are this is a 3 column and 4 row table, right? So 3 into 4 table. So like you should have 3 columns and you should have 4 rows. That means one particular column is going to contain 3 datas. And as we can see, column 1, column 2, column 3 are the headers, and the others are going to act as table data, right? So you know how to create the headers. And what happens here? So this is row 1, cell 1. That particular thing is merged. So this is a, what is this? What's the pattern of this, or like what's the attribute that they have used here? Is it the col span or the row span for the row 1, cell 1? Yes, people? For the row 1, cell 1, for this particular place, is it the col span or the row span? Yes, correct. It's the row span that they have used. And for the row 3, cell 1, yeah, yes, Geeta, that's correct. It's the call span that they have used, right? Okay, so uh, shall we make this to launch? Okay, right. So let's try to make this how it happens, right? In a very fresh one. So you can have the idea how we are going to do that, right? Okay, so right. All right, people. So you have to help me, right? I need to have whether you are having this idea of doing it. So what we first going to do is we are going to have the HTML code. So the HTML and the closing tag of the HTML, right? Then we are going to have the body and the closing tag of the body. Right, so inside this we are going to have the table tag. Right, so I've got my table tag. So we are going to create this particular thing. So what is the first thing that we need to do, people? So I have created the table tags. So then, yeah, table border. Yes, very good, Lilandi. So inside the table, I need to have border attribute equals to 1. Okay, then. So what we are going to do after that? So we have set table border equals 1. And yes, Himandi, that's right. We are going to create a TR. So that will create the first table row, and I'm going to have that end tag of the TR. So my TR couple is here. So then, yeah, yes, Lalinda, you should have THS because column 1, column 2, column 3 are table headers, acting as table headers. So you should have TH. Yes, Himani, that's correct. So TH and the closing tag of the TH, and you should have column 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it 2 times. I'm going to change the 2 and the 3. Yes. I'm going to save this on the desktop. Yes. So files, table.html. Yeah. Let me take that. Yeah, here's my table.html. Yes, as you can see, it is column 1, column 2, column 3 is there. Right, good. So the first part is done. How about the next part? So what we are going to do next? Anyway, we are going to have the next tr. So I'm having that tr. So inside this tr, how we are going to work things out? Yes, Lalindi, that's a great one. Yes, tr row span 2. Why we are using the row span? Because it is span, merging the cells in a different rows. So the row span should be there. Actually, Lalindi, there is a little bit problem. It's not tr which is going to have the row span, because tr will going to create you the row. Where you have to use the row span is inside a th or a td, right? Yeah, so you should have the first td, then you have to say row span equals to, right? Then what we are going to say, inside that particular td, we are going to say what? Row 1, cell 1, right? So row 1, cell 1 will be there. So this particular row 1, cell 1 will created on here. Then if we consider second row, how many rows, how many cells are left? There are another 2 cells, right? So how many TDs we need? Yes, people, how many TDs we need? Yeah, you need another 2 TDs. Yeah. So I'm going to take those 2 TDs. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to get rid of the row span thing. Otherwise it will trouble me. Right. Then what I'm going to have is row 1, cell 2, and row 1, cell 3. Yes. Right. So I'm going to save this. And I'm going to refresh my output. Let me have my output. Here we go. Yes, so you are having row 1, cell 1, row 1, cell 2, row 1, cell 3, but no row span has happened. Why? Because you don't have a third row, right? Yeah, let me see. Yes. I have a mistake. Let me refresh it and see. Still, you can't see the changes because we don't have a third row, right? So we have to create the third row to see how row span has happened, right? Okay, so let's create the third row. So your third row is going to be something like this. So I'm getting a copy from that, pasting it. Okay, now assist me, people. Now in my third row, how many TDs I should have? How many TDs I should have? Yes, that's right. You only need 2 TDs, right? Why? Because from the previous row, from this row span equal to thing, has already occupied my first TD, right? So my first TD is already taken. So only these 2 TDs need to be specified. So I'm going to get rid of the first TD, and the next, or these TDs which is inside this row is going to say cell 2, row 2, cell 2, and row 2, cell 3. Okay, I'm saving it and I'm going to refresh. There it goes. People, did you get that? Right, great. How about the others? Geetaka, okay. Himandi? And Dulanja? Right, okay. Dulanja, did you got that? Because I think you have participated a little bit later, neither. Yeah, you will get to see those things on the videos, Buddha. Right. Okay. So we are going to have the third one, right? The row 3, cell 1. So as you can see, it is already not already. It is merged all over the second cell and the third cell, right? So what you need to do, first you need to have the third row. So to do that, you need a tr and the closing tr. And what we are going to do here, so this particular tr or this particular row, how it's been merged, starting from the first cell, and these two are being merged. Yes, Lanidhi, that's correct. We need to use call span 3 with the td, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to use a td, and since starting from the first cell merging the other two, I have to say call span equals 3, because 3 cells are being merged. So after that, I'm going to close the angle bracket of the starting tag. Then I'm going to say row 3, cell 1. So then I will simply close my TD. Do I need to use other two TDs in this TR? Do I need to use other two TDs? No. Yes. Himandi, it's no. Yes. Because what we have done is we have already occupy or use those two TDs with this call span equal 3 attribute, right? So let's save this. Let's refresh it. Okay, here how it happens. All right, people. I think you got a solid knowledge about the tables, right? So those are the things regarding the table, and where you need to have to manage the things when the question comes, right? All right. So from that point, the coding part or the text list is done for the HTML lesson. Then what you have is the web designing software, right? So like so far, if you got any problem regarding any tag, you can ask if you got a question now, and if you don't have a question for the moment, you can ask the questions later from myself, right? You can send me a message, right? Or just let me know what the question is so I can go through on those things, right? So if you got a question for the moment, you can ask, or else we can proceed the other part as well. All right, I hope there is no questions for the moment, so I'm going to proceed. So the next part is about web design in software. So far what we have done is we are taking a blank notepad or a word editor and we just code things, right? And we try to see the output, how it happens. And there are softwares like the web authoring tools and content management system like CMS, we call it in the short form, where we can use those things to create web pages in a very easy way. like we are designing a graphic, right? So like these type of softwares are called, they are using the concept YCYG concept. It is on your book, what is YCYG is. So from here, so YCYG is stand for what you see is what you get. අපි ඒක YCYG කියලා තමයි අපි කියවන්නේ, right? So all web designing softwares are in the YCYG concept, right? Or we say it is a YCYG. So there are many different web authoring tools and CMSs. So right, let's see what are those. So in your book, they have introduced you some open source YCYGs, or like open source web authoring tools. So Composer, CK Editor, and Blue Griffin. Those are some open source, so like free, and so like with, they can be downloaded without the license. You can use it without the license. Those are free softwares. And also there are like software which are which we have to pay and take. The license softwares are there, something like Adobe Dreamweaver and Front Page, which is from the Microsoft Corporation, and Visual Studio. Those products we have to pay and take, right? So so when we are taking things like by paying, we may have a lot of extra facilities, but still for our level, these web authoring tools are sufficient to do things, right? So here it says designing a website using the web editing software, like the web authoring tool. So this is the web page that you are going to use, right? So they are saying hyperlinks to the other web pages, hyperlinks to the another web page. That means for more information thing. And these are become hyperlinks. And here you are having a picture and some paragraph. And there is a what you call the title as well. And you can see this particular web page has divided into many different sections, right? So like if you take this as a table, so the first one is row span, and these rows are being created, and the middle part, sorry, the first one is call span, and the picture which contains has row span, as well as this paragraph content has row span as well, right? Okay, so what we can do is, let's go through the things, how they are going to say. So this is the Composer interface. I'm going to show you what the Composer is. So you can download the Composer by visiting to, yes, this particular website is missing now. www.composer.net is missing. We can't find it because Composer has stopped its updation like by 2007, as I remember, 7 or 17. I don't really remember how it happens. And you can still download the thing, right? And once you download it, it get downloaded as a zip file. I'll show you how it has been downloaded, right? So yeah, now this is the way it has downloaded, Composer 7.10, something like this. So you have to extract this first, right? So once you extract it, it will extract into a folder, mainly zip folder, right? So what you have to do is right click, and there is something called extract all. So you just extract it, right? So once you say extract all, it will ask to which folder that you are going to extract it. Basically, normally it's going to extract to the very same place. So if you say extract, it's going to extract to the very same place, or else you can browse it and tell somewhere else, some other location in your computer, right? So once you extracted it, you can open this. Hold on, I have taken the content to my specific place. Let me extract this here. So I'm saying extract all. So it is asking me to extract to this particular place. So I'm taking out this check because show extracted files when complete. If you have this tick, it will extract and open the folder and show it to you, right? So I'm for the moment I'm going to get rid of it and saying extract. So it will get extracted, right? Yeah, and once it gets extracted, this is the folder. So I'm going to open it. And here there is something called composer.exe. This is the file that you need to locate in that extracted file. And you only need to double click this and it will open the composer. There is nothing called install in uh, composer. It's just a portable version, like you can just extract it and use, right? It's a very small one, like some 20 MB, 20 megabytes kind of a thing. So this is the uh, interface, right? So let's go through the things that they have said, right? So and it has shown you the places, how to insert a table, picture, how to attach the files, how to format the letters. Web page design in area is here, and to preview you can have the preview one, and to see the HTML code you can go for the HTML. So I'll show you the things, and these are the places where it allows you to insert a table, insert an image, you can insert a link here, and you can insert a file from this, right? And these are the things you can do the additions to your text on your table, on your web page, right? Like you are doing it on a Word document, right? So you can have a bullet list and numbered list, indentation, the things that you have done in your word processing software. And now remember, uh, it's just we are just designing the thing, we are not coding, right? So if I type this is my first web authoring, right? And I'm going to format it now. I have highlighted it, make it bold, and I'm increasing the website, the font size, and yeah, I'm going to change this font into some different font, let's say Calibri, right? And I'm going to give some color as well, let's say red. I'm saying okay, right? So I have done the formattings, right? It's just working on a Word document. And if you really need to show the HTML code, this is going to show you the code, this particular source thing, right? Let me click on that. Here it goes. This is the source. So the things we have done already, like there are some new tags as well. You can see the HTML tag is there, head tag is there, and there are some tags that you don't know actually, and title tag is there as well, and head tag is there inside the body. They have taken a tag called big, which you don't know what it is, and you don't bother. Right? And what you are doing is you just carry on your work. So after that, let's import an image. So I'm going to browse the image. So the location, so I can browse the thing from this little small folder icon. Once I click it, my file explorer is open. So in the desktop, I'm having this cat. So I say okay, and it says if the image relevant to the content of the document, you must supply alternate text that will appear in the text only browser and that will appear on the browser. Yeah, so like they say it's better you give a alternate text, right? So when we are like having the image, we talked about the alternate text. So if the image is not being shown for some reason, the alternate text or the alter text using the ALT will get seen, right? So I'm say okay. So here comes my picture. So if it is bigger, you can resize it like you resize in the things on your Word document, right? So once you've done this, look at the source. See, it is already taken an image, a style. They have said style, right? So style tag is regarding the CSS part, right? Don't worry about those things. So they say they have fixed a width and they have fixed a height, and they have used the ALT tag as cat image, right? So it is very much easier for you to do it. If you need to draw a table, so draw a table, right? So what is this new table for? Choose the separate facility. Yes. What it says, composer create a new table row for each paragraph in the section. Choose the character used to separate the section in the columns. All right, okay, let's see. Say okay. Okay. So they have taken it in the other way. Let me have my cursor here. Yeah, you can see the cursor, and I'm taking it to the down place. That the previous message was because I have selected this picture and asked to insert a table, maybe because of that. And I'm getting the cursor right over here and inserting a table. Yeah, now it is different. So it is asking how many, in what kind of a table. It's very similar to your word processing software. So I'm going to have 4 column and 3 rows table. I'm just selecting it and just click on it. So it just appear. And I can adjust this, right, according to the way I like. And I can type things in here. Right, and if you need to make things as you want, so you can do the text editing part. You can bold it, you can center align it, right? Even you can yeah, so even you can create the create a lot of cells together, and you can apply the boldness for those and the center alignment at once, right? And you can go through. Likewise, right? If you were to see the source, you can see lots of coding has happened regarding the table. The things you may not understand very well, but that doesn't matter. We have things, right, control under here, right? So likewise, you can create a very nice output using this. People, did you get this? So I want you to download the composer and try the thing, or like try the example in your book, right? So you can refer to that thing and see how this web authoring tool is working, right? I send you the link regarding the regarding this particular thing, or else I'll try to like upload my zip folder to the LMS, so you will be able to download it, right? I think that will be much easier. නේද? ඔයගලන්ට ගිහිල්ලා download කරගන්න පුළුවන් එතනින්. So I'll upload it to the LMS under the grade 11 section, right? So you will be able to download it from there. If it is not possible, I'll give you the link to download. Right, great. How about Geetaka and Lalindi? Is it okay? Yeah, great. So yeah, that's regarding the web authoring tool part. So here they are like instructing you to do this practical. So I want you to do it by your own. Uh, and I'll move to the other topic as well, static website and dynamic websites. So here you have to understand there are two types of websites that we can see. The website which are not change in its content, or like the websites where the user cannot interact with that particular website. Those are called the static websites, right? Because there are some websites which are designed by the designer or the owner of that website and just host into the internet, and we can just visit there and see, but we can't interact, right? Like you are doing in the social media, right? And there are websites where the user can interact and change the things, right? So if you take example like our LMS, like my LMS, you can visit to my LMS and you can do the changes. You can attempt the quizzes, you can do the marking, you can see the reviews and all these things. Those are called the dynamic websites, right? Where the user can interact. If you take the social media like Instagram or Facebook, you can visit there, you can upload pictures, you can comment, right? You can do a lot of things. That means the user is interacting with the website. So those websites are called dynamic websites. The website which just show you the content is called the static websites, right? So know the difference of the static and the dynamic, right? So when it comes to the dynamic websites, we need a tool which is called the CMS, Content Management System, to maintain that particular websites, right? So I'll show you how I'm doing things in your LMS, right? So we need designing softwares like PHP, ASP.NET, JSP kind of things. So where you can have the contents arranged in a dynamic way, right? So and those things is able to contact or like the interact with the user as well, right? So they have used this static and dynamic web pages or the websites. Like, so server means the place where you are going to store your website, and when it comes to the dynamic, the website is there and there is a database server. Database server is the place where it stores the data which is from the server side, that means from the website side, and as well as from the client side, right? And here comes the CMS. So the CMS is give you the ability to create the dynamic websites which is enabling the user interaction. So there are many different CMSs all over the world. The Joomla, WordPress, Drupal are some of those, right? And what I am using is the Joomla, and there is another for your website. We are calling. I'm using something called Moodle, which is a learning management system, right? So let me show you the things, right? So this is the way I'm maintaining your LMS. So it is the very same login that I'm having as yours, right? So, but the only difference is I can have the admin login, right? Where I have to use the admin password. Oh, sorry. Right, so it's the very same place that you are visiting, right? So in the grade 11, now if I need to add some content to here, what I'm doing is I will turn editing on. For your logins, there is nothing called turn editing on. So it's only for the administrator. So once I put turn editing on, I can edit this web page, right? If I need, I can change this name, right? And these as well. Or I can add some activities and resources, right? So so using this page, I am adding the videos. And if I need to create a quiz, I can create a quiz from here. So likewise, I'm given many different facilities. So you should have a specific knowledge regarding this, which is where you can learn through the internet. It has a lot of resources regarding the Moodle and Joomla and all these things, right? So we are not really discussing how to install this thing and how to work through this. I'm here just to show you the things, right? So likewise, you can create things inside it very easily, right? And you can create different kinds of questions as well, right? If you take a quiz, I'll show you the different kinds of questions here. Yeah. Yeah. Dulanja, the hidden from student means I am not showing the contents like in your page. This announcement part is not shown to you, right? Then mang edit කරන නිසා මට මේක පේනවා. Then කියනවා මේක students රට පේන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. Right? So like I can create some contents and make those things hidden from you. හිතන්නකෝ මම ඔයගලන්ට quiz එකක් හැදුවා කියලා quiz එකක් හදලා මම ඒක hide කරලා තියෙනවා until the right time comes. Then after I can enable that, right? Where you can see it clearly. Right? So you can't see it, only I can see it in my side, right? So when it comes to the quiz, I'll show you a quiz from the grade 10. Yeah, so these are the quizzes. So I can edit this quiz. So since now, yeah, since this has been attempt, I won't be given any, I think it won't give me the chance to edit it. Yes, you can't add or remove questions because this quiz has been attempt. So yeah, I can just edit the things inside that. So to do that, I have to create a new quiz, so which will take some time. Yeah, so I'll show you in some other day how it happens, right? Because I have to attend another class after this at 9 o'clock, people, so I have to leave. Okay, so just take the idea, right? So this is how a content management system look alike. There are different kinds of content management systems, right? I'll show you the Joomla backend as well, right? So how Joomla site is working, because this is my LMS and this is my site which is connected to that LMS as well, right? This is the backend login. Let me show you the site, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is my site which I'm maintaining through the Joomla, right? So Joomla gives another way of doing things, right? අපිට ඒතර මේකේ learning management system එකක් manage කරගන්න බෑ. quizzes හදන්න එහෙම අපිට මේක කරගන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේකේ contents manage කරගන්න දෙන්නේ, right? So here it is something more like එක ටිකක් specific වගේ. like මේක දෙන්නේ quizzes පැත්තට. Questions හදාගන්න, learning manage කරගන්න. මේකේ තියෙන්නේ content manage කරගන්න, right? So I'll show you that CMS as well. So with those, we only need to talk about these roles and these other theory parts inside the web, inside the not the last lesson, the come slowly. Right, okay. Good morning. Right. Okay, so people, we'll discuss. Please do it. Right. Okay, people, shall we end the session from this point? I'll go through the other theory part on the next day. And people, you need to buy a past paper book. We are going to discuss the past papers hereafter, right? So the last lesson is due. We are discussing the last lesson. Once, yeah, we are discussing the last lesson while we are while we are discussing the past papers as well, right? So it's a theory lesson where you have this entertainment and all these things, and we'll discuss that during when we are discussing the past papers, right? So get ready with the past paper book. So by next week, I'm going to finish the theory part of this lesson, and we are going to move to the past papers directly, right? Okay, people. So thank you very much for the today's session. Have a nice weekend, right? We'll meet on the same time, on the same day, right? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, people.